Pig genetic is very important when deciding to start piggery, because the shorter period of time you have to have before your pigs are ready for sale, the better. I do not have the modernization of pig farming or the industrialization of animal raising in general for a variety of reasons, which I am going to discuss throughout this video. One of the biggest issues within most Africans are the talk-to-talk approach, because I noticed that when people don't have money for a project, that is when they have brilliant ideas, but once they receive the funds, those ideas magically disappear. The walk-to-walk approach does not require to have funds available to start a project, but it is the willingness to get things done. That is why I stand by actions, speak louder than words approach, because no matter what you say, as long as no action is taken, it is a waste of time. Pig farming is one of the most lucrative businesses you can possibly invest in, and it is also not easy to do. And it should not be easy. If life had been easy, then there wouldn't have been no need to work as hard. Ladies and gentlemen, the cost of starting pig farming in Africa is so low that you do not have an excuse to say you cannot do it. I am glad I decided to invest in pig farming, despite numerous challenges I have encountered along the way and obstacles. However, the results I am getting right are worth the risk. Let's get back to the advantages of choosing the right breeds. With good pig breeds, you do not have to wait too long to start selling. Industrialization of pig farming is good to provide employment, but it makes keeping good meat quality much more difficult because what industries do is that they are obsessed with numbers, not quality. I also wanted to point out something important. Numbers don't mean success, because you cannot keep up with your animals due to higher numbers. Then you should not claim success. I'd rather have a small farm that is running perfectly than a bigger one that is unmanageable. When deciding to launch a business, always think about the practical aspect of the business and how the market will respond to it. In the food industry, all you have to do is show that you have products and people will buy. You don't even need an office to sell your products because people eat every day, which means there will always be demands for meat, crops, and so forth. As a child, I used to think animal raising was for poor people, and if someone suggested that you get into animal raising, it was an insult. But as time went by, I grew older and learned the importance of agribusiness. I realized that modern world wants us to rely on global elites for everything. They want to own everything. That is why they not want us to learn anything about agriculture, because it reduces the dependency of shopping at grocery stores. Understand that these big businesses are taking over and even buying smaller businesses out, because they are trying to eliminate the competition so that we all will depend on them. They want you to be lazy and go to the grocery and buy what they put on shelves for you. They don't want you to be self-sufficient because they won't buy from them because you got your own. Africa has the potential to feed the entire planet with the lands we have and what we can grow. But because Africans have been taught to look away from agribusiness, that is why it has not done much about agriculture. And it is deplorable. That is why I always encourage Africans in the diaspora to go to the motherland and invest, because these politicians don't work for us, and they never will. It is time we create our own empire and hire locals, who are mistreated by many expatriates across the continent.
Well, what's going on, everybody? It was not too long ago I have announced the birth of the piglets that happened on the farm. So some of you that tuned in on this channel may know the evolution, but some of you wondering, wait, what is he talking about? I highly recommend you go back, watch the last video I post, then you will learn what I had shared on that video. So on this video, I am about to share something new. Guys, remember, I tell you over and over, when you're getting into pig farming or any kind of animal farming business, you have to take into account the breeds and genetics of pig or cows, whatever you're trying to get into your farm, goats, and it goes for every animal, including poultry farming and so on and so forth. These images that you guys are seeing right now are making my heart more hopeful that things like this will continue to occur, and it will push me further to continue to do the things that I've promised myself that I would do. So you guys see that it is possible to conduct this kind of activities in Kinshasa or in the Democratic Republic of Congo in general and see positive results. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes it's not always about the money, but understand one thing, farming in general, it's a whole lifestyle. Me personally, I live in the United States of America currently, but it is not guaranteed that I will stay here for the rest of my life. At least from my own personal viewpoint, can see myself relocating to the DRC to live my life over there. But I'm only here because I work here, I live here, and a good part of my life is still here in America. But I am working diligently to make sure that objectives get reached at a timely manner. If you ask me why I want to relocate to the Congo from the United States, because there is no paradise on earth. We all Christians believe that there is one paradise that exists. It's where the kingdom of the sky is, but we don't know for a fact until we die. But as long as we have faith, eventually we will get there. But speaking of living here on earth, there are so many things that you have to cross to reach your ultimate goals. Mine is to relocate to my country and continue to do this kind of activities and inspire way more people, Congolese or Africans across the boards in the diaspora, to come back to the motherland, invest, and also live their best life. I love my life here in America. It is making it possible for me to finance my projects back in the Congo. Because if it wasn't for my job, I wouldn't have been able to do the things that I'm doing over there. But I'm trying to create a new source of income that will allow me to go back and forth and not having to depend upon my income over here in America. Let me put it this way. My income is the possibility to finance my projects in Africa. But my ultimate goal is to make it so it can depend on itself. So where I would not have to send no dime to do anything in Congo, whether it is to pay my employees or to pay for pig feeds and so on and so forth. It seems and it looks like we are approaching that level, because the productions that is occurring right now, it is promising that things will get better and better. Guys, whether I make money or not, the fact that my pigs are well taken care of, the vets keep going out there to treat them when the treatment is due, and then they're healthy, those things alone make me feel great. That's why I wanted to bring something to you guys. Back when I was in middle school in the Congo, I was raising chickens in my parents' backyard. I've told you this story where my father got somebody to come out and build me a chicken coop. I started with one chicken coop with a certain amount of chicken. In a span of probably a couple of months, I needed a much bigger coop, a chicken coop, so I will be able to accommodate the chicken that I was having at the time, because the rate in which they were multiplying, I couldn't keep up with them. I remember going to school and thinking about my chicken back at home. They became a part of my life. That was making my heart feel happier, and I'm getting the same feeling doing pig farming right now. That alone leads me to believe eventually when I retire, or where I feel able to go back and I'm financially stable, this will bring joy into my heart because I can already feel it. That's why it is very, very important when you are considering to invest money into whatever field, you know it is something that you're passionate about. Something you know brings joy into your heart. It's not always about the money. And another thing that's also kind of destroying us in some extent, it is the greed that we have developed. We have made everything across the board all about the money. But understand one thing. Money is good because it answers a lot of our struggle or financial struggle problems, but it's not always the answer. You may have this whole money, but then there is only one area of life that will make you miserable. That's why you don't always focus on the money. Money is good. It makes it possible to get things that we want in life. You want to live a lavish lifestyle, you want to live a luxurious lifestyle. You can only do those things if you have money. Without money, you can't do any of those things. But you also have to understand that comes with a lot of responsibility. I'm sure a lot of you may be familiar with the saying that goes, more money, more problems. But when it comes down to pig farming or any kind of animal raising at all, management is very, very important. That's what my focus is leaning towards right now. I am leaning my focus towards management so much because I know with management, you are able to accomplish a lot. Without management, your all projects will, fall apart. Something that I'm trying to prevent. I have shared with you that the capacity my pig barn has is to accommodate 100 pigs. Obviously, I will not be able to allow that number to be reached by the simple fact that some of these rooms where we house the pigs have building materials in them. It has some other things in them that we cannot accommodate pigs in them. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the numbers have to be managed to some extent. Now we have bred all the pigs last year around December, around mid-December or so. So like most of them are due either before the end of March or beginning of April. But after that, we will have to manage how we breed the pigs because we just cannot stop breeding them because it gets to a point where a pig gets, their cycle where they receive heat and they will need to be bred at some extent. So that's why the necessity of building a much bigger pig barn, it is very, very crucial right now. But it is critical because right now I'm looking at it, what it's gonna cost me. I do have the funds to do that, but it will take me a lot of thinking before I move forward with that because I'm trying to diversify the farm. I do not want to limit myself on pig farming alone. I want to extend it to poultry farming and eventually bring goat and so on and so forth. This is a slow process, right? It will take some time before I get there, but I know because I am committed, I dedicated myself to making this possible. I am going to work hard to get there. But right now, I am considering something that will potentially bring my money into the farm to make it possible to finance certain projects within the farm possible, including poultry farming. I will be able to start selling eggs much earlier before even I'm ready to sell chickens themselves. So these are things that you need to take into account when you are doing any sort of farming projects. It is very, very necessary that you take into account something that you think will or might bring money quicker, because trust me, I don't mind, I don't complain that I have to deduct certain amount out of my paychecks to send back home. But if there is something right then on the ground helping you to finance, to pay for certain things, it is much, much better. And that's my objectives. I'm moving towards that, but it still takes time. Remember, I have discussed in numerous occasions where most African countries do not have the culture or do not have central banks that support small businesses with loans so that they will buy the equipment that they need to do their work properly. For instance, me as a small farmer, I do not have the money to buy this heavy lifting equipment, so I would accelerate the production process when it comes down to pigs or planting crops and so on and so forth. So I just want you to be aware of that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I encourage you to come back for the next one because I got more videos like this to share with you. Keep those alerts turned on and please make sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. Until the next one, I'll see you guys soon. Peace out. Have a fantastic day.
Moi, je te prends pas long, on a pocho. O chama place ali minha base, mo kaka.
Wa pocho bomba mo mai. Wa pocho mse e calça mais.
Ah, oi bomba mais bien. OK. C'est bon.